Well, here I am. I just had to upload the other video, kind of introducing the new playlist called, I call it Strange and Weird Dreams. But anyways, one of my very common reoccurring dreams that just keeps on recurring is, I keep on going to Job Corps and the Navy. In real life, back when I was young, I did attend Job Corps. I attended Job Corps twice in my life when I was young, and I did go into the Navy, so those did happen in reality, but for some reason, even though I'm older, I'm far too old to go in now. I'm too old to go to Job Corps, and the Navy, well, I can't go back into the Navy. That's a long story, but I keep on having dreams that I keep on going back. And it's different kinds of places, but it's the same type of thing, it's always about either returning to the Navy or Job Corps. And I don't know why I keep having these reoccurring Navy and Job Corps dreams, Job Corps Navy dreams, and it's not like I constantly think about that. But for some reason, I keep on having the reoccurring dreams, and I don't know why. I don't know why I would have dreams like that, but it's different kinds of scenarios. Usually, when I go to a Job Corps dream, it's a pretty good place. It's like the Job Corps is better than it is in real life. It's like actually a really good place that helps people. The Navy is like a different place too. It's not like the Job Corps and Navy in real life. I mean, it's like these programs are like a million times better in these dreams, and they actually care about people becoming successful, and they don't just kick you out or judge you for having a disability or some other issue. And I think that's the one issue I have, is the fact that even though jobs are not supposed to discriminate against people that have disabilities, unfortunately, well, the Navy is the military. I guess if they find that you have a disability, I mean, I kind of understand that, but, they can still try to help people. And Job Corps especially, I mean, Job Corps is supposed to help young people get a job, and, in a civilian realm, supposedly disabled people are not supposed to be discriminated, but unfortunately, all these politicians, they may make laws, but they may not even follow their own laws. And I've always had a big issue with that. And especially in the past when I was younger, after I graduated one Job Corps. At least I graduated one Job Corps, and then I went into the Navy. But because I have certain disabilities and certain issues, the Navy sort of found out about that, and I could no longer stay there. And after the Navy, I did try to go back to another Job Corps, and they completely discriminated against me, and they just kicked me out. They didn't like the fact that I had my issues. I have anxiety and depression, and they pretty much just kicked me out. They just wouldn't work with me, and it was like I was totally crushed. I was already crushed that I had to leave the Navy, and then the Job Corps, and this is another Job Corps in a completely another state. The first Job Corps I went to was on the West Coast, and it was a really good program. They treated me really well. They gave me all the counseling and all the patience in the world, and I graduated. I went there, and I finished my trade, and I finished getting a GED. I did finish what I intended to do over there. But, when I went to the Navy, it's like, I did well for a while. I mean, I did get through boot camp, I got through A school, but unfortunately, about 2 years later, the Navy kind of realized that, I've had some issues, and they decided to let me go. They just gave me an administrative discharge, and then I ended up living in a whole nother state. and I tried to go back to Job Corps because I was still young enough. I was only about 22, 23 years old, and they treated me a lot different than the first Job Corps. Because this Job Corps, the second Job Corps, is in the Midwest. And this Job Corps in the Midwest was just completely intolerant. They discriminated against people for many different reasons, and they really discriminated against me, and they wouldn't work with me, and they wouldn't be patient enough to teach me anything. They were just impatient, and the teachers were just lousy, and they didn't actually sit down and teach you anything. They pretty much left you to figure it out on your own. And then when I couldn't figure it out, and I struggled, I was really stressed out, and they didn't work with me. Instead, they decided to just pretty much throw me out, kick me out, and ever since then, I've had major issues. And when I was young, I was bitter for the next few years because, I really wanted to be successful in life. I mean, at the time, I was more about the world. I was wanting to be successful in the world. I wanted a successful career. I wanted to make all this money, and that's before I started focusing on ministry and the Lord Jesus Christ. I'm getting more into ministry now, but this is when I was not really focusing on God. I was backsliding. I was into the world. I was into fame, and I was into fortune. I was into money, and it's just like I just kept failing, and the whole thing with losing the Navy and then losing the second Job Corps, that really hurt me. And so for many years I just obsessed over it, just going on and on and on, how it's not fair that the politicians don't take care of these laws that discriminate against people that have disabilities. I mean, the law is always griping about, oh, don't discriminate against someone because, of this and that. The laws try to tell us you have to be more tolerant, but yet they discriminate against people that have disabilities. And disabilities is something the person, it's not their fault. They're either born with disabilities or they get injured, they get sick. And, and yeah, people always want to gripe about people that are on Social Security or SSI, but the problem with the government and these politicians is they don't help people with disabilities. That's why we continue to live off of our benefits, because they won't help us get a job. They discriminate against us. They kick us out of programs. They kick us out of the military. They kick us out of Job Corps. So how do they expect us to get a decent career? And it's really sad, and I've been struggling with that ever since. But I think that's why these reoccurring dreams about Job Corps and the Navy keep on happening, because I went on a big old spiel about how a Job Corps should be ran, and my ideas of how the Navy should treat people that they may have disabilities, but they're not crippled. They can still be in the service. There's different jobs in the military, and if they feel like someone can't handle a weapon, well, there's plenty of jobs in the military where a person doesn't even have a weapon, They don't have to go into combat. They don't have to handle the weapons on the ship. There's plenty of different jobs, but yet they, just because it's like a learning disability. It's something like a learning disability, which, you can actually help people with learning disabilities, but now they don't help us anymore, so we don't have a job, we don't have a program, we're poor, so we end up going on the system in a different way. We end up going on to Social Security, because how else are we supposed to have money to live off of? It's not that we want to be lazy. Honestly, if I had it my way, I would love to have a chance to go through a Job Corps again or go through the Navy again, but they won't let me back, so. In most jobs, they don't tolerate disabled people. They fire them. They just get rid of them. So I guess that's why I've been having these reoccurring dreams about Job Corps and the Navy, and it would be the kind of Job Corps and Navy that actually works with people with disabilities. In my dream, they literally would welcome people and work with them and give them a chance, and then in my dream I'd be like, wow, they finally get it, and then I wake up and think, honestly, that's why I keep having these reoccurring Job Corps and Navy dreams. I mean, yes, they are weird and strange that they keep on reoccurring, but I think it just stems from my experience in real life concerning Job Corps and the Navy. So, I just wanted to share that with y'all because it is a strange, it's reoccurring dreams. I don't think about Job Corps and the Navy as much anymore because I'm more into ministry now, but it's just weird that these dreams are still in my mind and they play out many times. And I guess Job Corps in the Navy is something that's always going to be in the back of my mind, but I don't think about it as much on a regular basis, so it usually comes out when I'm dreaming. So I just thought I'd share with you all. I mean, it is a strange and weird dream, but I guess there is some meaning to it, but I just figure that it's kind of weird that these dreams keep on reoccurring, and it's like, I think to myself, I'm over Job Corps in the Navy. I'm into ministry now. I'm trying to work for God. I'm more into church. I'm more into ministry now. That's where I work, because Jesus Christ doesn't discriminate against people with disabilities. I work for Jesus Christ now. I'm more into ministry. So why do I keep having dreams about being a part of the secular world again? The secular Navy, the secular Job Corps that just judges you for having, what, a learning disability? Treating you like you're a criminal because you have a disability. Or just because you suffer from depression or anxiety. You can still be helped. But anyways, I thought I'd share that with y'all, and I hope you all have a blessed Sunday, and let me know if you all have reoccurring dreams like that. It's kind of interesting. I know lots of people that do have reoccurring dreams, but I just thought I'd share this with you, and I hope you all have a blessed Sunday, and thank you for listening, and take care.